In the UK, we can't get enough of gardens. Big and small, modern and traditional. They are the part of our house that can make us feel most at home. Now, people across the country have submitted their gardens as contenders for Garden of the Year. They'll be judged on the design, the planting, and the overall experience of spending time in their gardens. From each part of the nation, the best will go through to a grand final, where one will be named the winner. Casting their eye over Britain's gardens are broadcaster and gardening enthusiast Zoe Ball.
I want to see the ground, I want to see the roses, I want to see the vegetables and fruit. I think a garden can say so much about the people who have built it, created it and grown it.
Award-winning garden designer Manoj Malde.
What I'm looking for in the gardens is clever design, but really what I want to see is real passion from the homeowner.
And former Young Horticulturist of the Year, Lachlan Ray.
The best gardens always evoke an emotion. I want to see each plant working for its space in the garden throughout the seasons.
Only one will be crowned the UK's Garden of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this! We are in for such a treat, aren't we?
This time, the judges have travelled to central England and the Midlands to visit 4 gardens, all competing for a place in the final.
This is different. Would you like to dangle your feet in?
I'd love to dangle my feet in.
This is really performing, you know, we've got fruit and veg and we've got a haven for wildlife.
Oh,
Goodness.
This region experiences cooler winters and even rainfall throughout the year.
It's the geographical heart of the country and kind of like a buffer zone between the drier south and the colder north. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the gardens it has to offer.
And to kick things off, the judges are visiting a country garden in Cambridgeshire. Since moving here in 2003, Rob, a former US Army officer and businessman turned amateur gardener, has been busy developing the grounds, which span almost an acre.
When we first moved here, they were horse paddocks, so it was a blank canvas. We made the kitchen garden where the stables were, and the rest of the garden evolved as well.
Rob's wonderland flows from a kitchen garden via a topiary maze and a rose garden to a lawn overlooked by a summer house. To the side, there's a wildflower meadow and woodland packed with hidden surprises.
We do our best to encourage wildlife, so we garden organically. So we've let things grow fuzzy around the edges with lots of weeds. We just find it's a really nice, natural way. And when you encourage wildlife, you end up not having to use a lot of chemicals and a lot of invasive techniques. And things sort of balance out, more or less. Thrushes take care of the snails, the ladybugs taking care of the aphids and things like that. And yeah, it works in the end. The garden is pretty important to us for multiple reasons. It helps promote a healthy lifestyle. Just getting outside, getting the sun on your skin, getting some fresh air, getting your hands in the soil, just doing something every day. Once you start to get to the point of retirement, it's nice to have a goal. It can provide joy to visitors, to neighbors. I feel joy in the garden. I feel happy, contented. Mental health-wise, it's important. It's important all around, I think.
Armed with only the basic facts about the garden and its creator, the judges must now assess the Cambridgeshire Country Garden.
Beautiful barn entrance.
Isn't this incredible?
Do enough to see that.
Look
Oh,
at
now.
this space.
I am slightly envious of those greenhouses.
They are really beautiful, aren't they?
They are, lovely.
Goodness. Oh, so many treats for the eyes already, from the flowers to these beautiful raised beds full of lovely produce and dream greenhouses. I mean, they are the dream. Like, full of tomatoes, they're all right.
I wish my vegetables grew like that. But what you've got here is not just vegetables, but you've also got lovely flowers as well. So if you want to cut a few and take them inside to pretty up your house, you've got the opportunity to do that as well.
What's more, I think the use of materials around here is actually really complementary. Clearly reclaimed brick's been used, reclaimed tin from an old roof, and we've got this lovely weathered oak as well, and the lean-to there. I think it all just marries together so nicely.
And solar panels here. So you notice already this possibly the garden of somebody really caring about the environment and, you know, perhaps being self-sufficient.
Yeah, they're into their sustainability,
Yeah, I
aren't they?
think so. Come on, let's go and have a look around.
There's going to be a lot of grapes this season.
Yeah.
Those. Wow, this is this is different. What an amazing maze.
All of a sudden, we've gone from that gorgeous kitchen garden into formality. Looks incredible. Beautiful labyrinth. That's a lot of work gone in there.
What's lovely, though, is the herbaceous border around the edge. You know, it's quintessentially English garden, this, you know, and it's phenomenal. It softens what is otherwise quite a formal area, you know, it gives it a lovely backdrop.
And also, you can see that beautiful summer house the other side and those roses, but there's only one way to get to them, boys.
We should take a little wander through this labyrinth.
Shall we?
Yeah, who's going? I am. Dead.
Oh no, I've immediately gone
Oh,
wrong.
no. You're cheating!
Oi! Lachlan, we saw that.
Come on, you lot. Trust the children to be slow. Oh,
This beautiful lawn, summer house. Look back through the roses and the maze.
got a real axis right the way through.
What a
look at
contrast coming through into this meadow.
Yeah, we've gone from gorgeous kitchen, garden, formality, and now yet another scene opens up. That's amazing. And I do like just the little posts to indicate that there's a pathway through there.
It's a gorgeous meadow as well.
Shall we wander through?
Now, this is really nice. We've got quite a diversity of species in here.
Yeah, there is.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
And you don't need a huge garden to do a little bit
No.
of meadowing. It's really beautiful, isn't it? Pollinators are lovely for that.
Definitely.
What a lovely little woodland scene this is.
Every corner you turn, you've got another part of the garden that you arrive to. It's got a different atmosphere, different scene. Great.
And this has got a bit of a playful touch, you know, a bit Alice in Wonderland, really, isn't
No,
it?
it really is. It is kind of like a playground for grown-ups, this place, isn't it? And have you seen this bridge?
I like that.
That looks
isn't it?
like that's
Love
been
the
made
way
by
they've
the
made
owner,
these
hasn't it?
spindles
Yeah.
out the branches rather
Yeah.
than using a sawn piece
Yeah.
of timber.
Exactly.
It's a thing
Lovely.
of wonder.
Gives it a really rustic feel.
And Lachlan, what's that?
That's an owl box, I think.
Nice.
Again, we've seen a few bug boxes and bug hotels around the place, so the gardener's
yeah.
clearly a keen custodian of wildlife and
Yeah.
nature. Looks like a bit of a rustic staircase, does it now?
Yeah, kind of rockery pathway.
Pretty sure we can
Shall we
probably
go
wade our
for it?
way up through
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Why not? Oh, wow.
Oh, goodness, look at that.
There's a path coming down the other side.
Yeah.
Now, this is quite special, actually. Look at all these house leeks, which have obviously been planted at some point into the walls.
Oh, wow.
This is lovely.
Oh, nice warm stone as well in the sunshine. It's a great little spot to sit, isn't it? And out of the breeze as well. It's like a really warm,
Yeah.
enclosed area.
Very private.
Beautiful.
This is such a beautiful place to sit, and in terms of design, I think it's really, really clever. They've used natural materials, slate on the top as the copings to sit on, and the way they've just surrounded it with plants creates a really cozy feel and great for the setting that it's in. You want to hide away in here. I love it.
And yet another feature.
Oh,
Oh, wow, a really
garden
beautiful
is
pond
just-
area too.
full of surprises all the way, isn't it?
There's so much magic.
Love that sound that you can hear the waterfall.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
You've even got a
beautiful
little duck family up here as well.
And ducklings.
Cute.
It's quite wild and natural though, which
It
is lovely.
is.
You know,
I
this
like
is a
that.
real wildlife pond.
The judges will now mark Rob's country garden out of 10. Zoe's score will be held back until the judges have seen all 4 gardens, when their combined mark will be revealed.
This garden is a real adventure playground. It has different pocket gardens throughout. One leads into another, and that labyrinth is mwah. What I would really love to see, though, get some charred timber posts throughout the garden, and that will create immediate connection with the charred timber of the home, and it connects the two up together. I'm going to give this garden an 8.
Today's garden's actually been quite unique and rather special. From coming into this area, the kitchen garden, the greenhouses, and all these wonderful vintage and antique tools behind me. Quite a quirky place, actually. The construction of the bridge and the rockery, the tree houses, all wonderful features. It's clearly a gardener who's keen to get stuck in on a project. For me personally, there was perhaps some areas and borders that were slightly disjointed. And the maintenance could have done to be lifted in certain areas of the garden. Overall, though, truly unique and special. I'm going to give this garden an 8.
I really like that the character of the gardener is coming across in the creativity, in the maze and the beautiful sculptures and these lovely little magic touches. The roses, the meadow, and then a kitchen garden to die for. I feel like there's a little bit of something for everyone in this garden.
The judges will also choose a place in each garden which they all particularly love.
Our favourite spot is the labyrinth. It has to be. It's so playful.
Broadcaster and garden enthusiast Zoe Ball, garden designer Manoj Maldi, and former Young Horticulturist of the Year Lachlan Ray are touring the UK to find its Garden of the Year. This time, they're in central England and the Midlands.
What an amazing maze.
And the next stop is a natural pool garden near Nottingham. It was previously a pig and chicken farm, but for the past 24 years, it's been the family home to GP Smeater.
I think the vision for the garden was very much a place I could come and escape to, something that was away from the frantic world that we were living in. And I wanted somewhere where it was a meditative space and somewhere we could share with our family and friends. My grandchildren just love it. They love the beach. They spend so much time paddling in there, and it's transformed our world, really.
With the help of a landscape designer, Smeater's dream garden is now a reality. The natural pool area is connected via a winding path to a kitchen garden. The summer house and seating areas on the pool deck top off her usable, family-focused outdoor space.
You can come out at any time, day or night, and the mood changes depending on the weather or whether it's light or dark. And the stars are out, you can swim at night. It's magical, really. Very therapeutic. The value it's added to our kind of well-being emotionally, to our family, we can't really put it into words, I think. Particularly for me, I just really enjoy seeing people in it. It never fails to bring a smile to my face, right?
Well, I wonder what this one's going to be like.
I know. It's quite a promising start. There's
Yeah.
beautiful sleepers
I
here.
do like the chunkiness of
Yeah.
Ah, what a house.
these. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Look, and the roses
Yeah.
out the house. Well, look at that.
Wow.
Is that a natural swimming pond?
It is.
Yeah.
And look at all that beautiful aquatic planting. I love it.
It's a bit more subtle than your traditional swimming pool as well. It sort of marries in and fits with the surroundings a bit better, you know.
This is, you know, clean water, no chemicals, your plants around.
This is a specialist installation, you know. This is a professional company that's come in and done this. This isn't the kind of thing you do over a weekend. It's all about the filtration. So the water is being pumped out through a filter, probably coming to the top of this stream, being tied back in. We've got the little bubbling fountain there, which is obviously oxygenating the water. But what's more, all this planting here is going to work as a source of filtration.
It's like a cleaning unit,
Of course
isn't
it
it?
is.
And you're getting the clean water in the area that you're going to swim in. You come out through that door, walk along, and you're straight in the pool. How lovely.
Down your little beach.
Yeah.
That could be me every morning.
Yeah.
I think it could be
Love
all
it.
of us.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's going to be cold.
Yes,
In the...
absolutely. Thankfully, you're not too far from the house, so you can run in quite
run
quickly.
in, freshen up. Lovely.
I love the jetty there as well. So if you just literally wanted to dangle your feet in, you've got the opportunity to do that as well.
Do you like to dangle your feet in?
I'd
Marge?
love to dangle my feet in.
I think the palette actually is lovely, and the water lilies down here are just absolutely gorgeous. You know, I really like that colour on them.
Lots of lovely places to go and explore as well. So you've got this lovely central area, the seating over there, so you can sit and watch your swimmers. But also I'm quite excited about following that path up the hill through all those grasses. Gorgeous.
Let's do
Let's
it.
follow this path up the hill.
Now, this is really good. It's like traversing
Yeah.
Up
the
the
side of a mountain.
mountainside.
Side, yeah, I love
Absolutely.
it.
Following the stream uphill.
It's really good, isn't it?
And as you go up, you get this incredible view back across the garden, which is...
Yeah, look at that. That is
Really
gorgeous, isn't it? You get a great view from up here of all of that aquatic planting as well. That's lovely.
I actually quite like the planting in here.
Yeah.
And it's not normally something that I'm drawn to, this sort of scree-styled, very minimal. The gardener's really showing some restraint, but actually I think that's quite good in this setting. You know, it works. You can get a real good view of each individual plant and what it's doing, and it works well in this setting. Also think the stream's actually an excellent use of a slope. You know, it separates this area from that, and obviously water goes downhill, so it's a fantastic way to work with this slope in the garden.
It's very, very clever. And the beautiful pops of colour, they haven't gone too crazy,
Yeah.
but these little spots of magic, this is really, look at that, electric blue.
Beautiful. What I really like also is just the little pockets that have been filled with thyme as well, and then you've got the lavender. So as you're walking up here, you're going to get these lovely wafts of scent as well.
It's quite a lovely sedum roof
Isn't it?
across the summer house there.
In terms of maintenance, sedum roofs are actually pretty easy to maintain. In the heat of summer, the sedum will die back, but the minute the rainfall starts, it starts greening up again.
I think for the look it gives, it's a real worthwhile thing to do. Looking at this one here as well, I think it's really good how they've almost framed it off, this line of gravel around the edges. I just think it sets it off lovely.
We are on a journey along a pathway. Steps and pathways always have a destination, so let's carry on.
Let's do it. Beautiful kitchen garden.
It's kind of cute,
lovely.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good size, isn't it? Really
Yeah.
just manageable. And you can get all your lovely wares and your edibles here. Delicious.
And I like the way it's kind of tucked away from the rest of the garden, you know, because it's got all of that planting that screens it.
Perhaps somebody that's working during the week, you know, you can come back at the
Yeah.
weekend, do a little bit of fresh produce here and there.
Absolutely.
Lovely. On the note of fresh produce, obviously we've got some lovely hens up there as well.
It's the
Absolutely
dream.
brilliant.
And that apple tree is amazing. Look at it, great shape, but look at the amount of fruit that it's got on it.
Laden, isn't it?
Yeah.
And your lovely raised beds.
What's great about raised beds is they can be tailored to the needs of the user. So perhaps if there's wheelchair access required or somebody's got a bad back, obviously you build them accordingly, width between beds or heights, you know, and they can be made to suit the needs of the users.
This is a really special place, isn't it?
The choice of materials here is so suited to where we are. But what I equally love is the way they've carried this planting all the way right up to the house. In fact, it's sitting against the walls of the house. So it creates that connection between the house and the garden. They're not two separate entities, they are one.
And I think this direct line of sight from the end of the pool to the house itself really reinforces that.
It's sort of quite picture postcard, that view from here, and reflected in the natural pond there.
What a lovely setting and a great way to finish what is an exceptional garden.
The judges must now rate the natural pool garden. Lachlan is holding back his score until they've seen all four.
The countryside setting of this garden is so beautifully reflected in the very naturalistic planting. It's a great social space, but it's not too huge that it's not manageable. Even the kitchen garden is a really nice size that you can grow enough, but it's not going to be overwhelming. I'm going to give this garden an 8.
I love the spatial awareness in this garden, and I particularly like the choice of natural materials used within a rural setting. The natural swimming pond has very sharp angular lines, and what I would have loved to have seen is a connection between the curvy lines of the stream going into a really lovely flowing shape in the natural swimming pond. However, this is a joyful garden to be in. I'm going to give this garden an 8.
I've absolutely loved the time we spent in this garden today. I think the balance between planting, hard landscaping, the pool, paths, the layout is absolutely superb. It's perfect, in fact. It's clear the central focus of this garden is this beautiful swimming pond. However, for us, we felt that little addition, that beach going down into it, the planting all around, really made it. That was our favourite spot.
Next in line for the judges' consideration is an allotment garden in Wallingford, Oxfordshire. Ecologist Nadine has only a small terrace garden at home, and across the UK, nearly 3.5 million households don't have access to a private garden. Undeterred over the past 12 years, Nadine has developed her plot into a lush outdoor space.
I started gardening in Germany, and then when I moved here to England, we moved to a rented accommodation, and there was no space for me to grow anything really. So I went to the council and asked them if there are any allotment spaces. So I went on the waiting list and waited 1.5 years for my first plot, which was completely overgrown when I got it. But I just started on my hands and knees and just started cutting it all down. So that's how it started.
Over the years, Nadine's allotment garden has flourished and increased in size from 1 to 2.5 plots. There's a focus on attracting wildlife through naturalistic planting and ponds.
So many people don't have a garden, which is 625 square meter. I have all the space here. It's all filled to the last little bit. Everything is filled with plants. The purpose normally of an allotment is to grow food. So that's why I always made space for vegetables. It's so nice eating what you have grown yourself. It always tastes better. A proper garden is never finished. It always develops, but I'm really pleased with how it looks like at the moment because it's just a beautiful space and attracts so much wildlife. I couldn't imagine life without it. So it's just a space for me and the wildlife.
Well, this is a bit different, isn't it?
No,
Allotments.
It really is. You know, I hadn't really thought about, allotments can be gardens too.
It does allow people who are living in flats, apartments, or renting to have an outdoor space.
Yeah.
It's nice in the sense that, it's a sort of community of people sharing ideas and seeds and produce, obviously, as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a nice way to work.
And I guess what you choose to do with your space is up to you.
Absolutely.
So I'm quite excited to see what
I suspect
we're gonna
today's
see.
isn't going to be your traditional allotment.
I think you might be right.
Judges Zoe Ball, Manoj Malde and Lachlan Ray are touring the UK to find the Garden of the Year. This time, They're visiting gardens in central England and the Midlands.
That could be me every morning.
Yeah.
I think it could be all of us.
Brilliant.
And now they've just arrived at an allotment garden where Nadine has packed her wildlife-friendly plot with lush, naturalistic planting.
Oh my goodness, wow.
This is good, eh?
This is
so
just
different.
better than you could ever have expected it to be. There's so many different flowers. I don't even know where to start looking.
I love the pops of colour as well. Yeah.
You've got so much going on, and the movement in those grasses and the wind amongst these flowers, stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So many variations.
It also makes a good cutting garden as well. So if you just wanted to take a few blooms to put in a vase inside the house, what a great place to come and do that.
This is really performing. You know, we've got fruit and veg obviously being grown, we've got cut flowers, and we've got a haven for wildlife. You know, this is offering quite a lot.
Ticking
of
all the
space.
boxes,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah,
Of course
so
it
whether
is.
you're growing fruit and veg or whether you're growing pretty flowers, you're still gardening.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to do it. I almost think that that is the way we should all be gardening, really, growing a
This
little bit of fruit and veg.
Mix it up.
And yeah.
So this isn't necessarily how you would normally perceive an allotment. We come into this plot here particularly and it is just chocker with flower. It's almost like a back garden at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, it's a pollinator's wonderland, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
And then you can see a greenhouse there, so you've got your more traditional.
Yeah. There's a lot of work here.
Yeah.
And if they are coming to an allotment to actually do that, that's called dedication
And passion.
and passion.
Highlights
You can
a
see the
hard-working
passion through
gardener.
here,
Yeah,
can't
absolutely.
you? You really can. It's pretty awesome. And look, there's so much more to see. We're going to weave our way through.
Exactly.
Go on,
Let's
I'm
do it.
quite excited about what we'll find. There's so many
So soft.
different
Look at these.
grasses.
I love this. Oh, that feels so soft. Who knew that an allotment could actually be romantic? This one definitely is.
Absolutely. And I think just these little tiny flowers in that clematis as well are just
So
so
gorgeous.
tasteful. I think it's gorgeous the way that they're growing fruit and veg here with flowers in the
Yeah.
non-traditional straight rows and blocks sense.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's working really well for me.
And doesn't this really show that actually, if you've got a back garden and you want to grow both beautiful, pretty flora and fauna, but you also want to grow some fruit and veg, you can do it in the same space.
And if you only have a small space, you can put everything in together. Surrounded by these beautiful flowers, you're getting all the different colours and the textures, and it looks quite delicious, actually.
And actually, let's not forget that some of these flowers are also edible. Calendula that we've seen growing all over the place here. You can use that in omelettes. You can use that to make gorgeous, colourful ice cubes for your gin and teas. And the benefit of this, how this gardener has planted this area, is that those gorgeous flowers are inviting the pollinators in to come and then pollinate your fruit and veg.
This is such a sumptuous bed, you know, these beautiful flowers in here with these grasses. If you take your eye level down, you forget that we're actually surrounded here by houses. You're kind of lost in this wonderful little wilderness.
Yeah, it's the perfect place to actually just get a chair and immerse yourself in the planting, isn't it?
Well, what a lovely spot.
Isn't it beautiful?
Not what I was expecting from an allotment.
No.
It's completely blown my mind.
This has taught me that an allotment is actually a garden in itself. Look what you can do here. You know, she's even created this amazing pond here. So it's kind of bringing the whole sustainability aspect in, but the biodiversity, bringing wildlife in. As gardeners, all of us should really be thinking along that way as well.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
also looking for sort of slightly more unusual fruits and berries to grow. We've got the apples, but also you've got an apricot tree down there. You've got the red currants. There's so many different types hidden in amongst all the beautiful flowers as well.
It's a real testament to the gardener's ability, the fact that they've managed to make productive gardening and growing beautiful and aesthetically pleasing as well. It's not an easy thing to achieve.
It's a wonderful idea, isn't it? It's made me want an allotment.
Now the judges will decide the scores for Nadine's allotment garden. Manoj's score is under wraps until all 4 have been viewed.
I have such admiration for the gardener and what they've created in this incredible allotment. You can see they've really thought about sustainability, they've thought about the wildlife, they've really thought about the pollinators. They are everywhere. And also the community that this garden is providing. It's got it all going on here. It's really very, very special. I'm going to give this garden a 9.
Today's visit to the allotment's been a bit of a revelation for me, actually. It's very untypical of how you might imagine the traditional British allotment. The way in which the gardeners, including flowers, interesting plants, along with traditional fruit and veg, is quite pioneering, actually. I just think they've done a wonderful job. If this was my space and I was looking after it, I might think about slightly widening some paths. What's more, it's really lacking in places to just sit down and enjoy it. It's almost maybe a bit too work-focused, and I would like to see the opportunity perhaps for it to be enjoyed just that little bit more. I'm going to give this garden an 8.
Wow, this gardener has actually taken gardens and brought them to allotments, but equally so, you can take allotments into your gardens, marry the two together. And I, for one, really am going to take some beautiful ideas home with me. We've decided this is our favourite space. It's the perfect example of how you can grow your fruit and veg alongside your beautiful flowers.
The final contender is an urban exotic garden in Walsall. Home to nursery nurse Anne-Marie and her husband Andrew. A radical transformation of their little slice of paradise began soon after Andrew moved in 12 years ago.
It was just really quite basic, just lawn and trees on the sides. That was it. Plain and simple. You said, well, have you thought about putting any water into the garden? And I hadn't really, so we decided we could do with a pond and other water features and lots of trees to go with it, so that's how it started.
Anne-Marie and Andrew's garden measures a modest 50 by 36 feet. With a little self-build know-how and plenty of enthusiasm, they've tackled all of the renovations themselves. Navigated through tropical winding paths, their garden now includes a terrace, a stream which links 2 ponds, a gazebo, and nearly 50 different types of trees.
I'd not done any gardening before I met Anne-Marie, and so when it came to digging ponds out and planting trees and all plants that I didn't know the names of, it was all daunting, but once you get bitten by the bug, there's no coming back, is there?
In our garden, we wanted to make a really quiet, peaceful space for us.
You feel cocooned, totally surrounded by plants and trees and forgetting the world outside.
It's the most important place
Yeah.
in the world, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We spend most of our time outside in the garden. But I suppose we only go in the house to sleep, you know.
It's true.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
true.
we do. We spend
Yeah.
all day, every day outside. It's our home.
Pretty little house in a cute little cul-de-sac. Wonder what we're going to find here.
Oh, boys.
Goodness me. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Is quite phenomenal.
It's
This is not what you're expecting to find behind that lovely house, is it?
No, not at all.
Certainly not. And you can't even see the end of the garden anywhere. Wow.
Oh,
I'm loving all the textures and everything.
This is awesome.
look at the leaves on here.
Gorgeous, isn't it? And look, we've got a little seating area already.
Oh, I think
Let's take a
we
perch.
must. What a spot.
It's
Real
gorgeous, isn't
sun
it?
trap.
Look,
And
you can hear the water. You've got the sun coming through. I love this. This is gorgeous. Look at the texture. Yeah.
feel very serene immediately. And in a totally different place. It's like we're in another world.
I
It's
love
this garden.
all the different foliage textures here as well, and how the canopy is just rising, rising, rising. It's just unbelievable. And this is actually really brave, because how many people think about putting a tree smack bang in the middle of the garden? But they've been really bold and put it right there.
It's gorgeous. And there's often a reluctance to plant trees, but as you can see in here, you know, the gardener is not being shy whatsoever,
No.
which I think is wonderful, giving a real element of privacy, and given the fact that we're obviously surrounded in houses here, and the foliages in here are absolutely incredible. I mean, just ferns everywhere with
Yeah.
the texture of the palms here, the cabbage palm, the trachycarpus as well, you know. I'm amazed.
They've actually repeated that in a small area. So you have got the trachycarpus, and then you've got this cordyline here as well, which is kind of doing that palm effect as well. And then you've got this lovely under canopy of all the ferns around here as well. It's just fantastic.
The colours here, you've got all these different tones through.
The little hints of colour, a little bit of flower, but very restrained, which I think's good. Works so well.
And I love this. Can you imagine this at night with all those twinkling lights? I bet it's really relaxing.
Yeah.
Touring the UK, the judges are on the hunt for its Garden of the Year. This time, they're exploring central England and the Midlands. They're halfway round their tour of an exotic garden in Walsall.
I'm really enjoying the use of water through the middle of this garden. The sound you hear, it just creates this very calming atmosphere. I was thinking, actually, if you live in quite a noisy neighbourhood, what a great thing to do, to use water to create serenity and calm around you.
Really, really well built is what immediately strikes me. All the paving's been well done, this raised bed here that goes into the waterfall and the water features themselves. Fantastic. You know, whoever's done this is quite a talent, actually. And the planting really works. I particularly really like this little cedar here. It's absolutely gorgeous. You know, if you imagine this big one here, this is a variation of that, which is just, it's very unusual.
Great example of a gunner there. Look at that. It's
Absolute stonker,
so
isn't it?
Lush.
healthy, beautiful, and then all the ferns underneath it.
In a small garden, it's so easy to home in on smaller dimensions, smaller bits of hard landscaping, smaller plants. But they've been really brave and actually put in big specimen trees. And what that does is it actually makes your garden feel bigger.
They've even put in a little bridge here. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's doing a lot to link the two sides of the garden
Yeah.
together as well.
And it takes you up another level, so you're amongst the trees.
Kind of in a real jungle atmosphere around here.
So much to take in, so many different varieties and specimens. It's just a delight. I feel like we are a world away from the street where we entered. I'm finding it very, very calming and comforting, and just such a feast on the eyes. What a place to finish our journey here on this lovely terrace, and you can look back at all those beautiful trees, all the different heights, and I love that you can still hear the sound of water here. It's just so peaceful.
What I really, really love about this garden is the repetition and rhythm. Look at all these ferns that actually are repeated throughout the garden, right to the very bottom. And then you've got the conifers, the needles, the pines. creates this incredible jungle atmosphere, and that is absolutely genius.
For me, I think the use of foliage and textures about this place has just been wonderful. The diversity of the ferns as well has just been absolutely outstanding. What I also really like is seeing this monstera here with a great big jungly foliage. It really just connects the outside with the in. It's lovely.
It's time for the judges to decide their scores for the urban exotic garden. Manoj is holding his score back.
I'm so impressed here that in a relatively small space, the gardeners have created this magnificent oasis of calm amongst the conifers and the ferns and the tropical plants. You've got the real clever use of the water in the ponds. It feels so serene, it's so private, and it really is a little garden paradise. I give this garden a 9.
Today's garden's been an absolute triumph for me. The mystery of coming down the side of the house to be confronted with this jungle is exceptional. I am, however, concerned about the use of the horse chestnut, for instance. In time, this is a tree that's going to get massive. The way in which the gardeners layered the planting from that overstory of the trees down through the gunneras, the pines, and into the ferns below, I think is exceptional. I'm going to give this garden a 9.
This garden is absolutely amazing. I love this overhead canopy, and it's throughout the garden. It makes me feel really protected and really cozy. But what is brilliant is that I feel transported into some forest, some jungle, and that is such a great feeling. It's easy to create the wow factor in a big garden, but it's that much more difficult to do that in a small garden. Every element has to count, and they've done it perfectly.
There's so many fabulous areas in this garden. We're kind of spoilt for choice, but the waterfall feature at the back of the garden is so clever and really rather magical. It's our favourite spot.
Now that the judges have visited all 4 gardens, they can see how their scores compare and reveal the finalist from Central England and the Midlands. First, Manoj is revealing his score for the Allotment garden.
So, this wildlife-friendly allotment in Oxfordshire, Lachlan, you gave it an 8. I give it a 9. Manoj, what did you think?
This garden was an educational journey for me. I learned so much about allotments that they don't just have to be fruit and veg, they can be gardens too. I gave it an 8.
OK. So the allotment score's 25.
Next, Lachlan is yet to reveal his score for the natural pool garden.
So next, the stunning garden in Nottinghamshire. I gave this an 8. Manoj, you gave it an 8. Lachlan, what did you think?
For me, they'd used the space impeccably. The deep borders, the lovely stream, the pond, and the pool house. I thought it was a stunning garden. I also gave it an 8.
So the natural pool garden scores 24.
Now on to the Cambridgeshire country garden. Zoe held her score back.
Now for this beautiful countryside garden in Cambridgeshire with a surprise around every corner. Manoj, you gave it an 8. Lachlan, you gave it an 8. I really love the gardener's playfulness coming across in the creativity in this garden. I give it a 9. So that gives the Cambridgeshire country garden 25.
Guys, we've got a bit of a tie going on there.
Everything to play for. Like it.
It all comes down to the urban exotic garden.
A green oasis in Walsall. Lachlan, you gave it a 9. I also give it a 9. Manoj, what did you think?
I loved this garden from the minute we stepped in. It blew me away. It was so lush, beautiful specimen plants, a tiny garden, but that just felt that it went on forever. I gave it a 10.
Wow, great score. So that gives the urban exotic garden 28.
Hey.
So that means our finalist for Central England and the Midlands is the Urban Exotic Garden.
Brilliant. Such a worthy garden.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, brilliant.
The Urban Exotic Garden wins in Central England and the Midlands and is one step closer to claiming the title Garden of the Year. Next time, the judges are in the north of England to visit 4 more extraordinary gardens.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Look at that. I've not seen you this animated. It's very exciting indeed. This is so jungle-like and exotic.
I don't normally like snails in the garden, but the topiary one, he's more than welcome.
Tolerating this instance.
Yeah.